My name is Sarah Lee and I'm the Head of Department for Sport at Hartpury University. In my role, I oversee all of the academic provision that falls under the vast area of sport, exercise and health. My own background is in sports psychology, where my interests have always been in understanding performance psychology and how athletes cognitively prepare for and manage the complex performance environment. So first off, I'd like to offer you a warm welcome to Hartpury Sport. You will have heard already a little bit about Hartpury University, but I want to take a moment to tell you a little bit more about sport here. Hartpury Sport sits as the largest department here on the campus, and we really do feel this is an environment that lives and breathes sport, exercise and health. We offer 9 undergraduate degrees, a further 5 postgraduate master's degrees, and we now have a growing number of postgraduate research students who are studying for PhDs in sport, exercise and health. Our provision can be split broadly into 3 distinct areas: applied sports science, sports coaching and physical education, and sports business. In each of these areas, we align ourselves with industry, and we know from these interactions that being qualified to postgraduate level is becoming more of an essential requirement for many of the jobs out there in our sector. So we are really pleased to be able to offer that progressive route through study, which would indeed be available to you should you wish to join us. Andrew has already given you some insight into the academic offer that we have for you as Canadian students. In just 1 year studying with us, you could top up your Canadian College Award into a full Bachelor of Science degree in Sports Performance or a Bachelor of Arts degree in Sport Business Management. Both of these will open up avenues for employment and postgraduate study anywhere in the world. I'm going to spend a little bit of time now focusing on our Sports Performance offer, and later on in the video you'll hear a bit more about our Sports Business Management programme. The 1-year Sports Performance programme is made up of a number of mandatory classes, or what we call modules, but is written to offer students an element of choice about what they wish to study based on their own aspirations and passions. Fundamental aspects of the programme include a professional development portfolio, which incorporates the development of research skills. In the UK, independent research is seen as critical to degree-level study, so we will teach you about the process of conducting different types of research and the skills that you need for each. You will then have the opportunity to put these skills to the test, as you will engage in a second mandatory module, the Applied Research Project. Here you can independently research a topic of your choice, be that applied sports science-based, sports coaching or health, for example. And you will work one-to-one with a research supervisor who will support and guide you through that process. The rest of your year with us will be made up from option modules that include high performance sport, aspects of sport business, exercise health, performance analysis or strength and conditioning. You will hear more about some of these areas as the video progresses and as I introduce you to some of the team we have here who work on the degree. For me, the other thing that makes Hartpury unique and special is the fact that we truly care about our students. We are not a huge university that has thousands of students on a campus where you may find you're in a class of a few hundred and no one knows your name. We aim to make sure that all our students feel that they matter and that their journey and their development is our key focus. I would now like to introduce you to Tom. Tom leads one of the optional modules on the Sports Performance degree, and he's going to give you a little bit of insight into studying the high performance sports environment and how coaches have the huge task of managing the environment around the athletes.
My name is Thomas Legg. I'm the Associate Head of Department for Business, Coaching and Education at Hartpury University. My background is previously working in the National Health Service in the UK, and my job was as a clerical officer overseeing our teams, managing procedures, group dynamics and general culture, but also supporting and developing our new members of staff. I'm a qualified rugby union coach, and I've worked from the grassroots right the way through to the elite level and regional age grade. And at Hartpury, as well as working on the academic side and specialising in sports coaching, I also work as one of the coaches in the senior and elite rugby union teams that we have at Hartpury. I have a training qualification in both rugby union but also international leadership and management, and one of the topics I love to teach at Hartpury, both in the level 6 or final year of degree study and master's study, is high performing teams and working in how to create a high performing environment. And the reason I really invest in this topic is the ability to look at how to build successful teams, both from the cultural side but also setting the right high performing environment. With final year students, we look at exciting topics such as managing multi and interdisciplinary support teams. So it's not uncommon in the international world that you have specialists trained in sports coaching, sports injury, strength and conditioning, biomechanics, psychology. However, when they come to work in a high-performing sports context, it's about bringing all those specialisms together. So we look to challenge really key questions that the leader needs to consider, like how do you generate role clarity in an environment such as that? How do you ensure everyone is buying into the one goal for the organisation? We uncover culture and how can you manipulate the environment as a leader to ensure you have high-performing cultures and high-performing expected behaviours. These are the things you want people to live by every day. We look at the challenges and what potentially prohibits that in sport. Things like competition, limited resources, change, and looking at complex change in those cultures. I think that's a really exciting topic to experience. And also, what I'll try to do in Hartpury is bring guest speakers in. So what's really exciting is that we introduce, just this year alone, we had an Olympic sports psychologist come on site. We had a strength and conditioning coach who worked at an international level. We had an international head of medical services whose job and role is to prepare and look after the injury prevention strategies of his team at an international level. And all of those experts come on site and we get to challenge and question them, not on their discipline and their expertise, but how they fit in their organisation and how the coach, manager or leader is able to put things into place to better support those members of staff. And that's why I think high-performing teams is a really fascinating topic to explore. And finally, one of my real favourite topics to explore within that unit is impression management, and how we as leaders could think about how we convey our image, the tone of language that we use both verbally and non-verbally to manipulate and influence people within these high-performing cultures. So the exciting part of the module, which is strange to hear, is how we assess it. We spoke to industry experts, both in high-performing strength and conditioning and medical backgrounds and coaching, to ask them within the industry, how could we most appropriately assess our students in this topic area? So what we try to do is launch a case study. So you'll be given the opportunity to consult a high-performing coach or leader, hypothetically, but you'll have 12 weeks to build up a range of knowledge and skills in order to best support this leader in their practice. You'll be able to consult them on what the research says within leadership, building cultures, high-performing behaviours and expectations, and within a period of 2 hours, you'll be granted the opportunity to write down your answers as if you're consulting the coach. The real joy behind the topic of high-performing teams is that hopefully our students get the opportunity to transfer it to whichever context they see fit. We've had strength and conditioning students take the learnings from the module in how they can build and create their own strength and conditioning environment. We've had our medical support students who trained in injury rehabilitation go away and apply their learnings in how to create a safe but also challenging high-performing environment from the world of injury and rehabilitation. Really exciting. Just last year we had a Canadian student whose father, as it turned out, was a high-performance coach in Canada in ice hockey, and he came over, and between himself and his daughter we had a really fun conversation around how he could use some of the performance research that we were discussing in the module in practice, and had a real in-depth conversation around the importance of building high-performing teams, but also taking a view on how do you manage the different sports specialisms within that area. So the uniqueness of Hartpury University, and forgive me, but we've coined the phrase pracademic. The idea behind our academic staff members is they are heavily involved, if not right in the middle of their own practice themselves. I'm a practicing sports coach, so a lot of the things I teach upon, I live and breathe in a day-to-day basis, and all our staff are exactly the same. So what I hope sets us apart is that in a real-world environment, we can challenge our students and deliberately show them where the theories and the research we explore deliberately impact practice.
It's a really nice town. It's a cute town. It's small. You can walk everywhere, in 5 to 10 minutes. The Gloucester Keys have tons of restaurants, tons of bars and pubs, shops where you can go. And then on Friday they have the market where everyone comes in and sets up all their vendors and food shops. And there's tons of students too. I mean, you're walking around the city And I mean, you're passing students all the time, right? So it's really comforting and the culture is really good.
I chose to live on campus, which has been great. Like, I love my residents. People in my block are phenomenal. There's a whole bunch of opportunities here. And yeah, living on campus has really been great for me.
The railway and bus station, so that makes it easy to be like travel around England. Or even if we're gonna like fly out to London, it's just like a quick train and bus.
I've been to Germany, Spain, just booked Ireland, and then I will be going to Netherlands in a week. And the way that the classes here are set up, it makes it super easy to pop over, you know, for a long weekend or anything like that. I find the teachers are super accommodating of that, which is really, really nice. They 100% like have your back and then kind of let you know if you're missing anything important or anything like that.
The thing that got me most excited, that got my attention kind of right off the bat, was the fact that you can actually do a degree in 1 year. So advanced diploma and a degree in 4 years.
I've never been to Europe before, so it was a really cool experience to just not only go to England, but to have the opportunity to like travel further on.
Teachers are phenomenal, always available.
All the teachers and faculty in like our sport business program have been like really supportive.
Coming over here the first week, the professors were really good at sort of like orientating you and getting you into the groove of everything and, you know, showing you the campus and the classes.
Why might you want to consider studying at Hartpury? There is, of course, the huge advantage that comes from spending a year abroad studying in a different country. Plus, you can gain a bachelor degree in just 1 year, not something that you could do in Canada. But you may also want to consider the offer itself and what we feel to be the best features of our approach to studying at Hartpury. We have the most fabulous campus with some great facilities which enable us to focus on getting students to be able to apply the knowledge they are learning to real-world contexts. We sign up to the idea of learning, applying and synthesising so that the students that leave us have a really good insight and experiences of the roles that they would be doing in industry. It's the interface between theory and practice that is ingrained across all of our provision. We have managed to do that because all of our programmes have been heavily influenced and informed by our industry partners. In fact, in all cases, we've been out and asked employers what skills are important for graduates to have, so we've aligned ourselves to what they say is critical. That not only influences what we teach and how we do that, but it also influences how we assess you. We believe in making assessment as real-world focused as possible, so that means our students are assessed across a broad range of academic and practical skills. Add into all of this, you can just tell from the moment that you step into our campus environment that Hartpury is a place that just loves sport, exercise and health. If that is your passion too, you will find yourself working in a place where you are surrounded by like-minded people who all share in your interests. And finally, I'd like to introduce you to Gareth. Gareth's PhD focused on paediatric health and exercise, and he's going to tell you about a module he leads called Special Populations.
My name's Gareth Knox. In a former life I was a professional sports person, but I'm currently a principal lecturer in the Department of Sport at Hartpury University. My teaching interests lie in health and exercise and also exercise physiology, and I currently lead the modules in those areas. I'm the Programme Manager for the Masters in Research programme at Hartpury, which is a Masters programme focusing on research topic of your choice. This is an option available to students who complete the top-up degree at Hartpury to go on and study a Masters programme in 1 year following that. I'm a PhD supervisor at Hartpury as well, currently looking at a project involving children's physical activity and movement ability with a focus on school-based interventions, creating sustainable and effective programmes for lifelong physical activity and health. One of the modules I currently lead is called Special Populations. This module has a specific focus on health conditions and physical activity, so looking at conditions such as osteoarthritis, cancer, but also populations such as children and adolescents. The module focuses on evidence-based physical activity prescription. So we develop final year skills such as critical thinking, evaluation and application in order to apply what we learn in the theory and put that into practice. There's also a focus on practical skills such as risk factor assessment, using the latest equipment in the laboratory setting, analysing that data and also interpreting the information that comes from that. We also have a focus on sustainability and how theory translates into practice as well, not just concentrating on what we learn in the literature, but trying to think how that actually works in a community setting, for example. The assessment for the module involves quite a practical element. You are required to write up a written report, but this is based on you working with an actual client. You'll undergo risk stratification and look to determine risk by performing testing in the laboratory setting, and then you'll go away and use this information to generate an exercise program that is also based on the literature. There are a whole range of modules available to you on the sport performance program at Hartpury. One of these is the sports conditioning return to play module. This focuses on athletes returning back to competition after a potential injury and has a particular focus on the interdisciplinary nature of that phase, bringing people together to make sure that the athlete is in the best possible position to return to competition. What makes Hartpury unique, I believe, is the fact that you're able to work in such small groups where you get to know kind of staff and also other students very well, and I believe this kind of creates a lot more opportunity for you to receive feedback and also advice from staff, which is extremely accessible.
I think very well supported. We get our own supervisors, which is great.
I really love the campus. Absolutely stunning.
For anybody that wants to see another part of the world, like, this is a great way to do it.
I think it's a great opportunity.
So that's it. You've heard from all of us, and I hope that we've given you much to think about. We would of course love to see you all over here with us in the coming years, but appreciate this offer won't be for all of you. If you have any further questions about anything you've heard, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can come through Andrew Beecham and he will be able to direct you as appropriate. Your tutor will be able to assist you with those contact details. I wish you all the best.